Now we're talking about one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, and when it comes to ND plus support, chicken liver is genuinely impressive. This is not a subtle relationship. Organ meats like chicken liver contain extraordinarily high levels of niacin, which is vitamin B3, the direct precursor to NAD+. We're talking about some of the highest concentrations of bioavailable niacin you can find in any food source. But before we get too enthusiastic, we need to discuss some serious considerations about organ meat consumption. The biological pathway is straightforward here. Niacin is converted into ND+ through well-established enzymatic processes. This isn't speculative, it's established biochemistry. When you consume niacin-rich foods like chicken liver, you're providing your cells with the raw material they need to synthesize NAD+. For someone with depleted ND+ levels, which happens with aging and is severely pronounced in Alzheimer's disease, this direct supplementation of the precursor is about as targeted as dietary intervention can get. Chicken liver provides not just niacin but also vitamin B12, folate, iron, and vitamin A in remarkable concentrations. Many of these nutrients support the broader metabolic context in which ND+ functions. B12 and folate are critical for DNA methylation and repair processes. Iron is essential for mitochondrial function and oxygen transport. These aren't isolated nutrients working alone, they're part of an integrated metabolic network. However, here's where things get complicated, and I want to be very direct about this. Organ meats bioaccumulate toxins. The liver's job is to filter and detoxify blood, and while it doesn't store toxins the way people sometimes think, it does process them, and some can accumulate. If you're eating liver from conventionally raised chickens that were given antibiotics, growth hormones, or exposed to environmental contaminants, you're potentially consuming concentrated levels of those compounds. This is a genuine concern, not a theoretical one. The vitamin A content in chicken liver is also a double-edged sword. Vitamin A is essential for health, but it's also fat-soluble, meaning your body stores it, and excessive intake can lead to toxicity. Hypervitaminosis A can cause liver damage, bone problems, and central nervous system effects. One serving of chicken liver can contain several times the recommended daily intake of vitamin A. Eating it daily would be genuinely dangerous for most people. We're talking about a food that should be consumed weekly or bi-weekly at most, not as a daily staple. There's also the cultural and gustatory reality. Many people find liver unpalatable. The strong, metallic taste and unusual texture make it one of the most commonly rejected foods. If someone forces themselves to eat something they find disgusting, the stress response alone might counteract some of the benefits. I'm only half joking here. Chronic stress affects every metabolic system in your body, including ND+ metabolism. Let's address the socioeconomic dimension too. While chicken liver is relatively inexpensive compared to muscle meats, it's not universally available, and in many communities, organ meats have been stigmatized as poverty food or are simply not part of the culinary tradition. Telling someone to eat chicken liver without cultural sensitivity can be tone deaf. For people with gout or elevated uric acid levels, organ meats are particularly problematic because they're high in purines, which break down into uric acid. This can trigger gout attacks or worsen existing conditions. Similarly, people with iron overload disorders like hemochromatosis should absolutely avoid liver due to its extremely high iron content. In conclusion, chicken liver is genuinely one of the most potent dietary sources of NAD+ precursors, and the science supporting its use is solid. However, it must be consumed thoughtfully, in moderation, and ideally from high-quality organic sources. It's powerful, but that power cuts both ways.